Hi YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at another vintage Colt Python, and I've showed you several stainless Colt Pythons, new ones, old ones, and all that, and I have yet to do a rundown of a Royal Blue one. Now I do have a video where I restored one from the ground up for a friend of mine that wanted a Colt Python. I got one at a good deal and all that, and we completely rebarreled it, reblued it, and all that. That is not this gun. This is just a regular Royal Blue Colt Python. So this is a 1977 manufactured Colt Python in Royal Blue. This one has not been refinished or anything like that, and it is in pretty good shape. It has the original grips on it, the original finish on it. If anybody's ever seen one of these things in person, they're damn near impossible to video. It picks up every fingerprint on them and everything like that. But this thing's in pretty much perfect condition. If you know anything about, if you watch any of my videos, I don't wear gloves or anything during it. I just show you how it is in its natural configuration. So a little bit of history about these things. There's not much that hasn't been said a million times, but the Colt Python was started being produced in 1955. They were all the Colt revolvers were looking like a little dated and just kind of out of date, kind of antique looking, and this was supposed to be the premium revolver, and this is pretty much how they were when they came out in 1955, except for the original ones were the 6-inch version. This is the 4-inch version. So they have a ventilated rib on top of it. They have a full underlug. The original ones, the underlugs were hollow in them in the 50s, and I think somewhere in the early 60s they started making this a solid underlug. I do not know the exact date on that, but sometime in there they started making it solid. This of course is a solid one. This was made in 1977, so these were all hand fit together by skilled gunsmiths, and this finish is absolutely amazing on these things. I mean, it is amazing. I'm gonna do the best I can. This is not in natural light outside, but these guys that built these guns had to be specially trained into polishing these things. All the money is in the polish work before the finish is applied. So these things are finished on some type of walrus skin buffer or something like that, and they're absolutely perfect before the finish is applied, and that's why you get to shine. Now, Colt, a lot of people say they do it, but if you see a newer blued Colt gun, it does not look like this. These things, if anybody's ever got a chance to see one of these in person or out in the natural light, it is unreal. These things look wet when you're looking at them. It's just a perfect finish. So they hand fit these things together, and this isn't a gun that, like, if something broke in it, you can just take one out of another one and insert it in. This isn't a plug and play deal. These things are hand fit together. They have to be every piece has to be hand fit in them, and the actions are just so smooth on them, and they're just like nothing you've ever seen. Every Colt Python is the same like this. They just work so smooth, and the single action on this one is pretty darn good, and the double action is the same. For a factory gun, you're never going to get any better. The grips are in pretty good condition to this thing. They're just an overall good looking gun. This is a 4-inch version one. Of course, it's chambered in 357 Magnum. You can shoot 38s or 357 Magnums in them. If you look at the Colt Python over, you may notice the attention to detail, how they the edges of the cylinders are beveled, and everything just flows so smooth. There's no sharp edges on any of these. The finish work goes all the way down to like the hammer. The end of it's blued. The trigger is finished off and perfectly polished and blued. Just some of the things that other manufacturers don't do. These things are pretty costly to buy one of these things, and these are some of the best looking ones. They were always costly, and usually they're about, when they were in their new configuration, they were about double of what a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger would cost. Normally they're more compared to the Smith & Wesson, because the Smith & Wessons were made about the same time frame. But This one's an actual Royal Blue one. This is the original finish that Colt came out with, and then later on, they started offering these in nickel, bright nickel, where they look like a mirror. I do not own a nickel one. Nickel always scares me because if something happens to the nickel finish, it's not easily corrected. I have a bright stainless one that looks nickel that they started offering in the early 80s. And it's just a mirror finish stainless steel. And if it ever got scratched, you could polish it out. I'll get a close up of the roll marks. Looks like every other Colt Python 357 Magnum. I can show you the serial number. You can always look up a Colt serial number online. And this was manufactured in 1977. There's the Colt pony on the side of it. Then on the other side, it's the only other roll marks on it. It just has your Colt patent stuff and where it's made and all that. But this gun's in absolutely impeccable condition. You can shoot these things, folks. I mean, you just got to take care of them. I mean, as good as this thing looks, I mean, there is a couple fingerprints on them and little oils and all that, but this gun's in perfect condition. And all you got to do is take care of them when you're done shooting them and store them properly. Keep them oiled up, keep lubrication on them. These are made out of carbon steel. I mean, it's common sense that if something's blued, it's going to be made out of carbon steel. The stainless ones are less susceptible to rusting, but everything can rust. Just keep that in mind. You know, it's got your white outline sights on it and everything like that. But yeah, these things are pretty awesome guns. I'm a big Colt fan, and this is probably one of my favorite firearms is the Colt Python. Of all different kind of firearms, I just always drawn to these things. Every time I see one at a gun show, I got to look at it, no matter what kind of shape it's in. If you refer to one of my other videos, I did it in steps. We got one just like this for a girl that I know. She always wanted one. It wasn't in anywhere near as good condition as this one is, and I had it restored. I went through step by step. It had the real thin roll marks on it, on the barrel, and they kind of were washed out and everything. So I sourced out a barrel and put it on there, and it actually probably looks better than this gun. And this is an all original one here. But it doesn't matter what kind of condition something's in. You can always fix it. Anything can be fixed. And what I don't understand is people that take something cool like this and sit it inside of a safe and never take it out to the light and show people it and use it for what it is. I mean, who wouldn't want to shoot this fine action, this smooth action on something like this? But anyway, folks, there's not a lot to cover on this. I just wanted to show just an actual single video on a blued Colt Python, and maybe one day I'll take some of these out here into the natural light. You can see what this finish looks like on these things. They are absolutely incredible. Just every spot on it, just so smooth and so finished off and such close attention to details. It's got really nice looking walnut grist. This is a classic look of what a Colt Python should look like. This is the look they were after when they designed this gun. But anyway, folks, if you have any questions on the Colt Python, I probably know about as much about those as I do pretty much any other firearm. I'm really knowledgeable on them. Feel free to ask, and I will answer any questions I can. As always, I'll find out the answer. If I don't know it, I'll probably know it on the Colt Python. But have any questions, go ahead, feel free to ask. And thank you very much for watching my video, and you folks have a great day.